Hi friend, welcome back to Freedom Practice with Jen. I am still Jen Wallace and I am still glad that you're here with me. This is Freedom Practice number 8. We're heading towards the home stretch. There are 10 practices altogether that I'm sharing with you, but I hope you are coming up with your own freedom practices and you're seeing that there's really no limit. I've been asking you to go inward and really connect with yourself as a way to stay in integrity and to live a life true to who you are. That's what all these practices are about, and there's way more than 10 ways to do it, but I'm hoping that you are going inward and really feeling into your truth and connecting with that. And last week I invited you to utilize the wisdom of the body to help you feel whether you are on track in your life or not, and the decisions that you're making are in alignment with who you are. And so I hope you got some, more awareness about what happens internally for you, that when you are off track, and your body begins to contract, that you sense that and you are awake to that, conscious, and then you can go, wait a minute, what's this about? Is this really the best decision for me? Am I meant to do this? And then you find other ways of being in the world and showing up in your life, and when those decisions and ways feel more open and expansive in the body, we know we're on track. So we're going to keep going deep, and I'm going to read just a little piece from Mark Nepo, and it's on this same thing about turning inward. Let me find it. Our lasting sense of purpose is in our breathing, in our being. As the humanitarian Carol Hedges reminds us, our purpose is that which we most passionately are when we pay attention to our deepest selves. So paying attention to our deepest selves, connecting, and letting that be our guide in life. That's what all these practices are about, and we're going to continue on that path this week. So I hope you have your journal. Journaling is going to be a big part of this week's practice, and I want you to be comfortable and free of distractions. I'm outside, which I just love, so there's going to be some bird chirping. So let's do our grounding practice of slowing everything down. That's the first practice we started with, and it's very much a part of every freedom practice, in my opinion. And so we slow down. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to lengthen my spine and open my heart center and turn inward and just begin to slowly breathe in the nose and just release in the nose, softening the belly, just releasing and following the breath. Yeah, just 3 simple breaths. And you can't take too many slow breaths, as I always say. And I hope maybe you've tried that simple breathing 3 times 3 that I've practiced with you. You take 3 sets of 3 breaths. And, basically each set of 3 breaths, you're just relaxing more, coming inward more. And it's a wonderful practice. Helps us land in who we truly are. Okay, so practice number 8 this week is titled, Let What You Yearn For Be the Path. Let what you yearn for be the path. So let me explain that word yearning. And this is going to be difficult to explain because it's one of those knowing things. Remember, I talked about that last week. Like, we know that feeling that our intuition tells us. You know, we know it, but it's hard to explain it. We know what love is, but it's hard to explain it. And so the yearning is kind of the same thing. And a yearning is just a deeper desire for what you want to experience and what you want to express in life. And it's not about just wanting things. It's deeper than that. It comes from a place of truth and compassion and love. Okay? And I'm not saying it's okay to want things. I want to live here. I want to wear that dress, you know. It's not about judging those as being bad or anything. We're going to want things. And I think we have to be very careful about wanting, because I think our culture teaches us to want things. If we're very tuned into our outside world, then we're tuned into the rules. This is how you become successful. This is how you become lovable. This is how you become beautiful. And if we disconnect from ourselves, this can get very confusing and send us off track. So this yearning comes from a deeper place that's connected to love and compassion and truth, and how we want to show up in the world and what we want to experience in the world. So I hope that's making sense. I'm going to read a little bit from this book, Martha Beck, The Way of Integrity, Finding the Path to Your True Self. This is a new book she's just come out with, and I shared last time with it. And I just encourage you, if you're interested in continuing reading about, you know, this path that I've invited you on, to get this book. So she says, and now I want to preface, she was one of the first life coaches, and she started by coaching her students at Harvard about their lives. And so career coaching and what are you going to do with your career, your life, was, you know, is kind of her strength, I guess you would say, or her focus. And I would say her focus is very broad now. But anyway, we could be talking about career, but we could also be talking about just how we want to show up in the world, aside from career. So she says, the path to true love, true anything, is the way of integrity. No other person can ever find yours for you, much less give it to you. But you can always, no matter what your circumstances, find and follow it yourself. So it's about going inward and connecting to what is true and living in the outside world the same way that we feel on the inside. Now, we're not going to do that perfectly. We are going to get off track. Nobody does that perfectly. But these practices and her book and what she talks about are the ways that we can keep coming back, and that we can stay awake to, I like that word, awake. To me, it's similar to staying connected. We stay awake to who we are and what's important. Okay? Here's another little excerpt. There are infinite ways to make a living. At some level, a deep instinctive level, you know which of them will truly work for you. You can feel it immediately when a job requires you to push aside your true desires. Your awareness of your true career path may be buried deep under layers of acculturated false beliefs, but it's still there, like a flower trying to grow through toxic sludge. If you continue to resist your genuine impulses, you'll become slowly aware that what you're doing to make a living is turning you into the walking dead. Yeah. So we really have to go deep and stay awake. And it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It's not about what the world is allowing us to do or not do. You know, and I go back to that practice number 2. Let it be messy. It's going to be messy. But we don't have to let go of ourselves and our integrity. We can stay on that path. So that's what we're going to do this week. And so freedom practice number 8 says, let what you yearn for be the path. Let what you yearn for be the path. And what you yearn for has to do with truth and compassion and love and how you want to show up in the world from that place. It's less about wanting things. And it's okay to want things. But I think we can get lost in the wanting. And so yearning for something touches a deeper place in us, and it touches something about love and compassion and truth. And that is our true nature. So I guess I'm just asking you to go to a deeper place when you are making decisions about your life and what you're putting energy towards. Because I think what we yearn for in the big picture of our life is going to be more fulfilling and more aligned with who we are. Okay? So let me give you an example. I've always yearned to be a teacher in my life. And I used to teach my friends everything, how to drive, how to swim. I was just the teacher. And when I got older, I started in teaching. When my kids were little, I was the preschool teacher. And then I became an elementary school teacher. And I loved it. But on some level, it became very stressful. And I think it was because I was in charge. At times, I had like 35 students in my class. And it became more of a job of classroom management and kind of school policies, procedures, and the teaching part became smaller. And so I did teach for 15 years in elementary school, but then I was thinking this isn't aligning with who I am. And so I let go of it. And then I started coaching. And I incorporate a lot of teaching in my coaching. There is some teaching and coaching. So I think I found, my yearning for teaching and learning. I have a yearning for learning, and to me they go together. So this is really perfect for me. The other thing was I had a real yearning to share these practices with you, and I've had a yearning to write a book to express my message. And so I got on the path to doing that. And it was scary. And of course, the self-doubts come in. Well, who's going to want to listen? And well, who are you to say what freedom is? And blah, 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 the mind is always going to jump in there with its commentary. But because I've learned to go inward, once I made the commitment to what I was really yearning for, something was just pushing me from behind. And I've had to take the steps. but what I'm yearning for is becoming my path. Okay, that's the direction I'm going in. And so that's what I'm asking you to do this week, to think about what you yearn for. I think, what brings you delight? What brings you joy? Those are the things that I believe we yearn for. So what I'd like you to do is get your journal out, and you can do this after the video is over, and I'm going to have it in the email. But I think a good way to understand, what we yearn for is to think about what we have yearned for in the past. Okay? And just to make a list. This is what I've yearned for in the past. This is what has delighted me in the past. This is what I've really wanted to experience in the past. And it has this deeper, richer, more truthful source, okay? And just write, brief sentences, okay? And when I did this, it was, I want to be a mother. That was a deep yearning for me. I want to be a mother. I'm going to be a mother. I was babysitting all during my childhood, and I knew I was yearning to be a mother. And I became a mother, and it's been awesome, an awesome path for me. Very messy, but it's been very fulfilling, okay? I had a yearning to dance. And I did dance when I was younger, and I kind of got away from it, but I really had this yearning too, just to be active. Okay, so I have found ways to be active, but I would love to go back to dance. So maybe that's where I go in the future, is I find ways to dance again. Okay. I've always had a yearning to be in nature and to be around animals. And I shared with you about recently having to put my golden retriever down and feeling the grief, the loss. And I can tell you that because I've been allowing and staying connected, I really feel healing. And I also have realized that raising an animal, having a dog in my life is something I yearn for, and I'm going to do it again. Some people, lose animals and think, oh, I'm never going to do that again. And I'm not in judgment of that. It's hard to go through that grief process. But I'm ready to do that again. This is something I yearn for and I still want. So maybe getting a new puppy in a few months. So anyway, I want you to make lists of things that you've yearned for, things that have brought you delight in the past. And then make a list of what, looking at the themes of those yearnings, of those delightful experiences you've had. Look for the themes. My themes are nature, being active, teaching, learning, connecting with people. Very important for me to have meaningful connection with my friends, not just superficial. I yearn for deep connection with people. So you look at the patterns that you see, after you've looked at all the things that have given you delight in your life. And then the next part would be, and what am I yearning for now? And what am I yearning for now? And maybe it's similar to what you've been yearning for your whole life, or the experiences that you've had. But maybe there's something new that you're yearning for. Maybe there's, like putting these videos together and writing a book, that's something new. That was something very new for me. And I'm letting it be messy. My goal is to not do it perfectly. My goal is to really be authentic. Because, living in integrity with yourself 24/7, we won't all do that, of course. We're going to fall off track. But, to be disconnected and have two, like Martha Beck calls it, your inner wisdom, your true self, and then your social self. And the social self is who we put out there and who we present. And freedom practices, I believe, are about blending the true self and the social self and having one whole integrated being show up in the world as much as we can. Okay? So that is your practice this week, is to let what you yearn for be the path, be where you focus your energy and deciding how you want to show up in the world. And write down all the things in the past that have given you delight, given you joy. Look for the patterns, look for the similarities, and then do the same thing. Just let the sentences flow. What do I yearn for now? What am I yearning for now? Okay? And, as far as an intention goes, it's just about I go deeper and I stay connected to myself no matter what. We're just going deeper and we're going deeper. And what I yearn for is authentic living. What I yearn for is connected to my authentic living. That kind of statement could be your intention. It's about showing up fully as who you are and honoring what you yearn for. You are honoring what it is you're yearning for, because what you're yearning for comes from a place of truth and love and compassion. Okay? It's not the superficial, I want this, I want that. It's a deeper, deeper desire. Okay. Onward, Freedom Warrior. You know what to do. You know what to do. I hope you know what to do. We're going deep. And let what you yearn for be the path. Be safe, be well, and namaste.